So what day are we on 75 hard?
We are on day 47.
Oh my gosh, it's really difficult to get all of our tasks done just with 75 hard and all the other tasks. But I can't believe that we're already on day 47.
I know it.
I really prefer to walk in this fresh snow as opposed to slipping and sliding.
Or, yeah, snow falling on us.
I don't super mind the snow falling on us. And mostly because when it's snowing, it's not 1 degree.
I was just going to say, this is what I like. Not
Yeah.
even wearing gloves.
Yeah, I don't have gloves on.
And I don't even have icicles in my
I
mustache
know,
or
what?
anything. It's weird.
It's nice.
Oh.
So, what do you think about 75 Hard so far?
Honestly, it's kind of like what you were just talking about as far as the time. I mean, finding, the 2 45-minute exercises, that's an hour and a half in your day that you got to chunk out, which doesn't seem like a lot until you start adding everything up that you're doing. Then an hour and a half's a lot.
We didn't really plan it perfectly. Launch a brand new business, start 75 Hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that the launch didn't happen until day 46,
5, 7, yeah, like I said, yeah.
Yeah, because we've been able to maintain the habit. So let's talk about what the 5 tasks are for 75 Hard.
All right, so we got the 2 workouts, one of them outside.
45 minutes.
45 minutes each. We need to drink a gallon of water throughout the day, which I don't know if that sounds like a lot or not, but it's a lot of water.
It's too much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm such a fan of listening to your body. And if you're drinking a gallon of water and it's making you sick, which is what it does to me, then I'm not willing to flush out my electrolytes to do that. What are you doing?
learning how to use this thing too.
Oh my
Trying
gosh.
to get you in the shot. Yeah, so electrolyte replenishment is important if you're really sticking to that gallon of water.
Yeah, if you feel sick, right?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna barf when you drink water, then you should probably take an electrolyte.
Yeah.
Like LMNT.
Yeah.
Right? So what else?
We got read 10 pages of some sort of a, if you're like a 90s person, a self-help book, but really just something that you can grow with, that expands your mind a little bit.
What are you
something
reading?
that's going to be valuable. I am currently reading, almost done, with 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Do you like it?
I love it. It was, speaking of 90s stuff, it came out in like 96 or 98. Ooh, careful. Something like that. It's cool. There's been some updates from Stephen Covey's son in there, but it's amazing how it still holds true today.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. What are you reading?
I am reading Joe Dispenza because I heart him, and it's Unbecoming Yourself. I think it's called Unbecoming Yourself or something like that.
What's the little Cliff Notes version of that? What's it about?
It's basically how your mind is a magnet, and when you change your mind, you change your life. And it's super fascinating, and he walks you through all the data. It's all about quantum physics, mechanics, and science, which I am like a nerd. I love it, but I understand my pinky nail of
right.
it. But I'm such a mindset person because I've just seen that. I've reaped the benefits of changing my mindset, and so the proof is in the pudding, really. So that's been fantastic. Before that, I was reading Kathy Heller, Abundant Ever After, which is basically the same thing, and I super love that. But yeah, I'm burning through this Joe Dispenza book, and then I'm going to read another Joe Dispenza book next called Becoming Supernatural. And I am chomping at the bit to get to that.
Nice.
And the reading if you choose something that you love, it's super easy. There have been nights that like I am so exhausted and I go to read my book and I'm like, am I gonna fall asleep? No, not gonna fall asleep because it's, you know, something that I love to learn about. So there's that for the reading.
Yeah, absolutely.
And really, everyone should be reading 10. If everyone read and applied the 4 Agreements, which is another book.
Which is a book I started reading.
And
yeah, or I started out 75 Hard with.
If they read that and applied it and did a parasite cleanse, I feel like the whole world would shift.
Yeah,
it just would completely shift.
Absolutely.
So anyway, that's not hard.
Just a little aside, what I found with doing it for 75 Hard, speaking of the 4 Agreements, it's a small pager.
Oh, it's
so
such an easy
the
read.
10 pages, when you're starting to build that habit, those 10 pages,
nothing.
That's a quick one.
Super easy.
Let's see. So stick to a diet.
Right. Which
and
I'm
really
not pro diet.
No, and I shouldn't even use the word diet, really.
A nutrition plan.
It's a nutrition plan that makes sense for you, and just stick to it.
It's an extreme.
Yeah.
I can't stand extreme diets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did we start with, and how have we progressed?
See, we started with really just
cutting out the bakery.
Yeah, whole foods, cutting out the bakery, cutting out, you know,
we like
breads
to go to bougie bakeries.
Yes.
Have coffee for hours. Woo. So we cut that out, and bread, and we didn't eat pasta before unless it was the lentil pasta.
Yep.
High protein. So we cut that out, and then what did we do then? We did that for 2 weeks, I feel.
Yep.
And then what did we do?
And then we cut out. We cut out pretty much all, not everything starchy, but cut out like rice and cut out white potatoes and that kind of stuff.
Because we love Whole Foods. That's the only thing we eat.
Yep.
Unless we're visiting a bougie bakery. But yeah, we did decide no more chicken and rice. I mean, chicken, yes, but no rice. But
really, the idea behind it for us, for the nutrition plan, is really something that's going to be able to translate past 75 Hard.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not like
that's the reason why I hate diets, is because okay, at the end of this 6 months when I lose 100 pounds, which doesn't ever happen, but let's just say that it does, and you go back to eating what you did previously, you just gain it back, and you gain it back faster because you've screwed your metabolism.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Definitely want to stay away from that.
We are eating, you know, like a sweet potato once or twice a week, not a whole one. Beets, we love beets. Beets, rutabagas, parsnips.
And as part of our nutrition plan, we still included a square of chocolate at night.
Oh, yeah.
Good dark chocolate.
I'm never giving that up, ever.
Yep.
I mean, unless it's the apocalypse and they're like, sorry, Jonna, there's no chocolate. And then I'll be like...
It's been fascinating to me because, you know, like most kids, I was one of those kids that could eat like a whole half-gallon of ice cream in one sitting. And my mom would always say, you know, it's supposed to be a treat. All you need is just a little bit to make it a treat. And I was like, there's no way. I gotta eat. I'm eating as much as I can. And it's really turned into looking forward to that little treat of chocolate.
Every night.
It's pretty amazing what just that little square of goodness does.
Delicious, and it's good quality chocolate.
Yeah, which is important.
Hui? H-U-I?
No, just H-U. Who?
Oh, who? Chocolate.
Something.
Yeah. So good.
To round out 75 Hard, no alcohol.
That's been the easiest thing ever.
Well, easiest thing ever for one of us, but you know, that is one advantage of doing it in the winter, because you're not finishing cutting the grass and, you know, weeding the garden and everything, and it's hot out and you feel like having a beer. So that's been nice, but not super hard.
No,
Not super hard.
That's been not hard at all for me. But I'm anti-alcohol. I mean, I like to have a White Claw or two when I'm on my paddle board. Sometimes more than that, but most of the time not. And so the alcohol thing is just like easier than drinking a gallon of water. That's for sure. Yeah. So.
And then, am I forgetting anything?
Is that oh yeah, progress picture.
Oh yes.
Which
daily
is probably,
progress
in my
picture.
opinion, the most underrated task because you really. Huh? Sure. Have fun. We're live.
We're making a video.
It reminds me of when I did that first episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
And Liv came in
up.
right before. I was like, okay, kids will probably whatever, interrupt.
And like five minutes later.
Yeah. Hey Mom, I'm here. Anyway, progress pictures. They are so important, and it's so hard at the beginning, especially if you're just starting on your fitness journey. The last thing you want to do is take pictures. Like the last.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the most humbling, frustrating, discouraging thing, honestly. And I could see that from my own experience. But can you imagine if I had not taken any of my progress pictures?
Right. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also because we know that body composition change with lifting weights and doing all the things, it kind of goes forward, back, forward, and kind of inches forward like that.
Yep, for sure.
Instead of like, Murr.
Yeah.
And so you can see that in the pictures. And of course, in my opinion, the best way to change your metabolic health and lose weight is through resistance training. And not a lot of that you're going to see on the scale, especially at first.
Yeah.
You're going to see it in the pictures because, muscle weighs more than fat. Everyone knows that. We know that logically, but it's a tough sell,
And for me too with the pictures, it's just, and we talk about this all the time, but it's hard to remember even a month ago or 6 weeks ago, how you felt or what you looked like or all those things that
you think you're going to remember.
You think you're going to remember.
Like
you
when
think
you
they're
buy
so
something and then you hide it from yourself. You're like, I'm going to put this in this drawer. Oh,
exactly.
I'll remember.
Yeah, exactly. So being able to go back through, even at this point, and look, like, oh yeah, when I feel like I haven't been making any progress, because you get in the day-to-day
ton of progress.
Yeah, then you can go back and look at those. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that's right, I have.
Yeah,
so that's super valuable.
Yeah. So
I think that's 75 hard.
Yeah, when do we stop it?
We stop it on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, St. Patrick's Day.
March 16th.
But, honestly, the walking outside has been amazing.
One of the best things.
I just didn't have the time before, or thought I didn't have the time. And now that I have to do it, it's a priority. That's been a game changer. I mean, I already, get an insane amount of steps without the walk. But being able to be outside and just, obviously we're not recording videos every single outside walk, but it's been so nice to get outside in winter.
I think I like the idea of doing it in winter and really being forced to do it, because there's been times where it was below zero, felt like in the negative.
Yeah, like 3 coats on.
Yeah. All wrapped up,
like head down.
And then you make it through. Yeah. And it ends up being, at the end of it, it's like, oh, that wasn't horrible.
Thing is that we're podcast listeners. Does that make sense? Like, we listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
And so we've been able to listen to a ton of, business building, entrepreneur, mindset podcasts that kind of have just propelled us forward. Learned a lot of really cool things.
And we've had a lot of really good conversations about the business.
Yes, we have.
You know, it just gets your mind going.
Yeah, a lot has been decided on this
little loop right here.
A lot. Like the pivoting.
Yeah.
We've pivoted so much. So I think that's 75 hard.
Yeah.
Day
47.
47. There we go.
Believe it or not, we'll check back in at some point during 75 hard, and you might not see that snow on the ground, hopefully.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that'd be pretty wild.
Wow, that would be wild. I mean, I think it's here for a little while, but not much longer. Pretty soon we'll be loading up the boards.
Exactly.
And going to the lake. So, yay.
Yay indeed.
All right, that's it.
All right, turn this thing off.
Push the button.